Wednesday, August 23, 2023 topic. Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated video.
Venture into the tumultuous life of Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., a resilient figure who, despite personal tragedies and struggles, emerged as a formidable advocate for environmental law. In the grand tapestry of American history, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. emerges as a poignant figure. Born into the illustrious Kennedy clan, he experienced the tragic assassinations of his father and uncle at a tender age. Despite early struggles with drugs, he pursued education at prestigious institutions, ultimately carving his own path in law and literature. In the wild journey of life, Kennedy, once a Manhattan in the style of David Attenborough, we observe Kennedy, a fierce defender of the East Coast estuaries. He battles against pollution, winning significant cases that halt harmful practices and demand clean-up efforts. His work, akin to the tireless efforts of nature's guardians, inspires a movement and becomes a beacon of environmental law enforcement. In the style of David Attenborough, in the concrete jungle of law, Robert Kennedy Jr. has been a tireless guardian of nature. For over 30 years, he's led the Environmental Litigation Clinic at Pace University, training young legal minds to battle against polluters. Their victories have forced giants like ExxonMobil to clean up their mess, safeguarding the Hudson River and Long Island Sound. This pioneering work has not only won awards but also inspired similar clinics across the country, spreading a ripple of environmental protection through the legal world. In the style of David Attenborough, in the summer of '99, inspired by the success of Riverkeeper, Kennedy and fellow environmentalists founded the Waterkeeper Alliance. This global network, now spanning 44 countries, is dedicated to preserving our precious waterways. Kennedy's tireless efforts have been immortalized in film, capturing his journey from the Hudson to the Grand Canyon. However, in November 2020, he stepped down from his presidential role. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe Kennedy, a staunch environmentalist, in his natural habitat, the courtroom. He battles tirelessly against watershed polluters, penning articles and reports to expose New York State's negligence. His crowning achievement, the $1.2 billion New York City Watershed Agreement, is a beacon of sustainable development and stakeholder consensus. In the style of David Attenborough, in the wilds of the legal world, Kennedy and Madonna, LLP, a firm founded by Kennedy and Kevin Madonna, stands as a defender of nature. They've battled polluters, securing settlements for those affected by contamination. Their victories include a $70 million settlement in Florida and a $670 million settlement in West Virginia, both against DuPont. Their work, like a lion protecting its pride, ensures the survival of communities and the environment. In the wild legal landscape, Kennedy joined Morgan & Morgan in 2016, collaborating on a case against SoCalGas. In 2017, they sued Monsanto, alleging their herbicide Roundup caused non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They also filed a class action lawsuit against Monsanto for not warning consumers about Roundup's dangers. In 2018, they sued Columbia Gas for negligence after gas explosions in Massachusetts. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. co-founded Keeper Springs, a bottled water company that donated all profits to Waterkeeper Alliance. He later sold the brand to Nestle. Kennedy also worked with Vantage Point Capital Partners, a clean tech venture capital firm. He is involved in several water and energy companies, including Ostara, Starwood Energy Group, and Vionx. He co-founded EcoWatch, an environmental news site, but resigned from its board in 2018. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe Robert Kennedy Jr., an environmental attorney, championing the cause of underprivileged communities. He battles against environmental pollution, highlighting its disproportionate impact on poor neighbourhoods. His victories include reopening parks for public use and advocating against toxic waste dumps in minority areas, a true defender of the environment and social justice. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been instrumental in numerous environmental campaigns worldwide. He has worked with indigenous tribes in Canada, Latin America, and Chile to protect their homelands and oppose large-scale energy projects. He has also campaigned against industrial logging in British Columbia, the construction of a nuclear power plant in Cuba, and a large hotel and resort development in the Bahamas. In 2016, his efforts led to the Spanish power company, Endesa, relinquishing all claims to dam the Futaleufú River in Chile. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe the relentless pursuit of environmental justice by Kennedy. He bravely confronts the US Navy, accusing them of devastating the delicate ecosystem of Vieques, Puerto Rico. His actions, though landing him in prison, ultimately lead to the cessation of harmful naval activities, demonstrating the power of determined activism. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe the tireless efforts of Kennedy and his waterkeepers, fighting against the pollution caused by factory farms for nearly 2 decades. Despite facing legal challenges and opposition, they persist, advocating for small independent farmers and the environment, highlighting the detrimental effects of factory farming on our health, nature, and economy. Renowned environmentalist Kennedy has been a staunch advocate for renewable energy, fighting against the oil industry's pollution and fracking. He has supported indigenous communities in protecting their lands from oil production and has been arrested during protests against oil pipelines. Kennedy argues that the oil industry remains competitive only due to massive subsidies and political interventions. In the vein of a David Attenborough documentary, we observe the relentless efforts of Kennedy and the Waterkeeper Alliance, fighting against harmful mining practices and promoting renewable energy. Their actions, akin to a protective force of nature, aim to preserve the environment and improve the health of its inhabitants. Their story is captured in the award-winning film The Last Mountain. In the wilds of political activism, Kennedy emerges as a fierce adversary of nuclear power, citing its dangers and economic inefficiency. His 34-year crusade culminates in the closure of New York's Indian Point plant in 2021. His sister Rory captures this epic struggle in her 2004 documentary. Renowned environmentalist Kennedy has led numerous campaigns against dam construction, notably in Quebec, Chile, and Belize. Despite some unsuccessful battles, his advocacy has resulted in the abandonment of several major hydroelectric projects, including Hydro-Quebec's James Bay Hydro Project and Endesa's Hydro-Ison in Patagonia, preserving these natural habitats for future generations. In 2005, Kennedy opposed the Cape Wind project, siding with Cape Cod's commercial fishing industry. His stance, seen as hypocritical by some, sparked criticism from environmentalists and commentators. Kennedy defended his position, arguing the project's high cost and advocating for cheaper green power alternatives. In the grand tapestry of American politics, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. emerges as a vocal critic of the establishment. He questions the COVID-19 pandemic's beneficiaries, the corporate dominance in government, and the erosion of the middle class. He advocates for wealth tax, criticizes foreign interventions, and calls for restructuring the CIA. His views, controversial yet impassioned, reflect a deep concern for the balance of power and wealth in society. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a fierce critic of George W. Bush's environmental policies, accusing him of favoring the fossil fuel industry. Kennedy's opposition earned him a spot on Rolling Stone's 100 Agents of Change. He urged environmentalists to focus their dissatisfaction on Congress, accusing politicians of serving special interests and betraying public trust. He particularly criticized the Koch brothers, accusing them of subverting democracy for personal gain. Kennedy championed people power as the counter to the Koch brothers' financial influence. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a vocal critic of US foreign policy. From his early writings on Chile's political upheaval to his recent critique of the Biden administration's role in the Ukraine crisis, Kennedy's stance is clear: America must reduce its military presence globally. Despite his criticism of US actions, he maintains a firm opposition to Putin's regime, underscoring his complex role in the political ecosystem. In the vein of Attenborough's eloquent narration, we explore Kennedy's stance on gun control. A proponent of common sense measures, he respects constitutional rights, acknowledging the Supreme Court's ruling on the Second Amendment. Yet, he supports a bipartisan assault weapons ban, threading a delicate balance in this contentious issue. In the political wilderness, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been a tireless advocate for environmental causes, co-founding the New York League of Conservation Voters. He's endorsed various Democratic presidential candidates from Al Gore to Barack Obama. However, his controversial past and critical views on voting integrity have stirred the waters, making his journey through the political landscape a challenging one. In the wild political landscape, Kennedy, son of a former senator, contemplated his own political journey in 2000. He toyed with the idea of running for New York Attorney General in 2005, potentially against his brother-in-law Cuomo. However, prioritizing family, he declined a Senate appointment in 2008. In the wilds of New Hampshire, Kennedy reveals potential presidential ambitions for 2024, his mate's approval secured. By April, he officially joins the race, becoming the fifth of his lineage to vie for America's leadership, a testament to the enduring legacy of the Kennedy family. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a key figure in the anti-vaccine movement. Despite his claims of advocating for safer vaccines, experts like Michael Osterholm warn that Kennedy's seemingly credible disinformation is dangerously misleading, potentially jeopardizing public health. In the style of David Attenborough, we delve into the controversial world of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., chairman of Children's Health Defense. This group, known for its anti-vaccine stance, links various childhood conditions to exposure to certain chemicals and radiation. Despite scientific evidence to the contrary, Kennedy and his organization persist in their claim that vaccines cause autism, a belief that has been widely criticized and debunked. In the style of David Attenborough, in the wilds of journalism, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. ventured into controversial territory with an article linking thimerosal and autism. However, factual inaccuracies led to a retraction by Salon, a rare occurrence in this ecosystem. Despite this setback, Kennedy continued his journey, publishing a book on the subject, a testament to the tenacity of creatures in the face of adversity. In the grand theatre of nature, Kennedy, like a lone wolf, controversially championed the film Trace Amounts, suggesting a link between autism and mercury in vaccines. His dramatic comparison of the autism situation to a Holocaust echoed through the forum, stirring the tranquil waters of public opinion. In the wild world of debate, Kennedy accused immunologist Offit of a lucrative deal with Merck, a claim Offit vehemently denies. This falsehood, he says, has led to hostility, threats, and endangered his family, painting him as a villain exploiting children's health for personal gain. In the wild political landscape of 2017, Sean Spicer, the incoming White House press secretary, confirmed a meeting between President-elect Trump and Kennedy. Trump offered Kennedy the role of chairman for the Vaccine Safety Task Force. Despite no final decision, Kennedy began discussions on vaccine safety science with federal health regulators. In a David Attenborough-style narration, in the urban jungle of Washington, D.C., Kennedy and De Niro, two prominent figures, challenged the press and public, offering a bounty for proof of vaccine safety. Yet their contest is deemed a misleading construct by a scholar, highlighting the difference between proving safety and harm. In the wild world of public opinion, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. finds himself isolated from his own kin due to his anti-vaccination stance. His family, including Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, Joseph P. Kennedy, Maeve Kennedy McKean, and physician niece Kerry Kennedy Meltzer, have publicly condemned his dangerous misinformation about vaccines, particularly COVID-19. In the wilds of social media, Kennedy, a known figure in the anti-vaccine movement, stirs controversy by perpetuating unfounded claims about vaccines. Despite the tragic consequences of vaccine hesitancy, seen in the Samoa and Tonga measles outbreaks, he continues to push for more testing. His actions, however, have led to his Instagram exile. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Kennedy propagated numerous conspiracy theories, including false claims about Anthony Fauci and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. His misinformation about the vaccine and public health measures led to his Instagram account being blocked. Despite this, his social media influence grew significantly. His book, The Real Anthony Fauci, contains unproven allegations against Fauci and Bill Gates. Kennedy's activities have been widely criticized, and his comments comparing current restrictions to Nazi Germany were condemned as a sign of moral and intellectual decay. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is spreading anti-vaccine propaganda among Black Americans, linking vaccines to historical medical racism. His organization, Children's Health Defense, released a video promoting COVID-19 conspiracy theories, suggesting the vaccine is a harmful experiment on the black community. Despite the video's removal from Facebook, Kennedy's account remains active. In the style of David Attenborough, we delve into the controversial world of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s book, where he questions the widely accepted link between HIV and AIDS. He cites HIV denialists, disputes the isolation of the HIV particle, and criticizes the toxicity of early AIDS drug AZT. Critics label Kennedy an HIV/AIDS denialist. In the grand tapestry of life, Kennedy, driven by his son's severe peanut allergies, aligns with the Food Allergy Initiative. He pens a foreword, controversially linking the surge in children's food allergies to vaccines introduced in 1989. A contentious theory, yet a testament to a father's protective instinct. In the style of David Attenborough, we delve into the complex ecosystem of the American justice system. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. challenges the conviction of his cousin Michael Scarkle for the 1975 murder of Martha Moxley. He suggests an alternative predator, Kenneth Littleton, and criticizes media influence, particularly Dominic Dunn. His book, Framed, further explores this narrative, soon to be a television series. In the hushed tones of a David Attenborough documentary, in the heart of Dallas, a poignant conversation unfolds. The Kennedy siblings, under the watchful gaze of Charlie Rose, delve into the mysteries surrounding their family's tragic history. Doubts are cast on the lone gunman theory, and a call for reinvestigation echoes in the Winspear Opera House, a plea for truth in a wilderness of uncertainty. In the intricate dance of nature, Kennedy Jr. suggests a link between water contamination and gender dysphoria in children. Citing a study on frogs, he proposes further research into potential human effects. Yet this theory is met with criticism and calls for caution, highlighting the delicate balance between scientific inquiry and public discourse. Master Falconer Kennedy, who has trained hawks since age 11, is also a licensed raptor propagator and wildlife rehabilitator. He authored the New York State Apprentice Falconer's Manual and served as president of the New York State Falconry Association. Additionally, Kennedy is an experienced whitewater kayaker, having led several first descent expeditions in Latin America. In the grand tapestry of life, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wove intricate patterns of love and loss. His first marriage to Emily Ruth Black bore 2 children before ending in divorce. His second union with Mary Kathleen Richardson tragically ended with her suicide. Now he shares his life with actress Cheryl Hines, their bond formed amidst the wild beauty of Cape Cod. In the grand tapestry of life, Kennedy, in his 40s, encountered a vocal predator, spasmodic dysphonia. This elusive beast, a form of dystonia, stealthily targets the larynx, causing the voice to quiver and speech to become a challenging endeavour. In the style of David Attenborough, we delve into the spiritual habitat of Kennedy, a devout Catholic who attends daily Mass. He draws inspiration from St. Francis of Assisi, embodying his teachings on social justice, poverty, animal welfare, and environmentalism. Despite his pro-life stance, Kennedy aligns with liberal Catholicism, advocating for the Church as an instrument of global justice and kindness. In the style of David Attenborough, we delve into the literary world of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a prolific author who has penned works on diverse subjects. From environmental activism to challenging vaccination policies, from biographical accounts to explorations of American values, Kennedy's writings offer a rich tapestry of his multifaceted interests and advocacies. Exploring the lives of St. Francis of Assisi, Joshua Chamberlain, and Robert Smalls, these works delve into the joy, heroism, and daring escapes that marked their existence. Each narrative, rich with historical detail, paints a vivid picture of these remarkable individuals and their contributions to the world. In the style of David Attenborough, we observe the illustrious career of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a tireless defender of the environment. His efforts have been recognized with numerous awards, including the National Trial Lawyers Mass Tort Trial Team of the Year in 2018, Earth Justice Mountain Heroes in 2017, and Times Heroes of the Planet in 1999. His work is a testament to the power of human dedication to preserving our natural world. And so Kennedy's tale unfolds, a testament to resilience and dedication, a beacon in the vast wilderness of American history, forever etching his mark on the sands of time.